Hello, I'm Linda, and we are here today to discuss the proposal to revise the documentation instructions within our department. There will be an opportunity for questions at the end of the presentation. If I may ask you to wait until the end to ask your questions, I may be able to answer some of them during this presentation. Thank you for your time today, and we will now begin. The goal of our project is to revise the documentation process while providing time and cost savings. We would also like to accomplish with our time savings being able to allow the department to proceed with other projects. By embarking upon this revision, the benefits to our department will be achieved quickly with our time and cost savings. I propose that we set aside 2 employees to achieve this project and transform the old method into the new method by cutting the time and steps in half. This proposal will explain the reason for revising the documentation process. It will also provide how the revision will be accomplished, and it will identify the benefits and risks to revising the process. It also will offer recommendations to ensure the revision is a success. Next, we will go and discuss the overview. Our department has been struggling for over 6 months with the issues of our instructions to release our documents to other departments within the company. We need to revise our instructions to become more efficient. I know that all of the employees within our department would like to see our processes revised and consolidated. I will break down all the various issues of our process during the presentation. By revising our process, we will save time that can be allocated to achieving other objectives our department has set. Next, we will be discussing the opportunity. The following are the various opportunities that this revision will provide. We'll be overhauling inefficiencies within our process. We will be gaining all stakeholders' approval before proceeding. We will develop a very structured process for streamlining our instructions. And our rollout will need to be examined for a timing opportunity to allow for low impact to the department for the resources to be used in the project. In implementing the project, testing will need to be done prior to implementation to ensure that all steps have been captured within the process. The end result will be to provide a deliverable that meets our department's need and is effective and efficient within time and cost savings that can be measured. Next, we're going to discuss those time and cost savings. Our old instructions would take a minimum of 30 minutes. Our yearly costs were $19,200 for 240 documents to be produced. The new instructions will cut our time in half to 15 minutes. Our yearly costs will also be cut in half to $9,600 for those same 240 documents. We will have additional benefits that will be discussed shortly. We will also be looking into other areas of the process that will be able to save us money. For a brief overview of our current situation. 1, our instructions are long, complex, confusing, and extremely inefficient. This is the reason why we would like to revise them. 2nd, it takes 30 minutes on average to achieve the first part of the process. This is entirely too much time for that. 3rd, the process has been an issue for our department, and we have made small, ongoing changes, but we need the process to become static. A static process will provide better measurability and less errors. 4th, the department will be able to regain its credibility back as documentation experts by becoming efficient and more knowledgeable within our process. 5th, when onboarding new employees, the new process will allow them to learn with ease and understanding where we have not had this in the past. Our next slide, we will move on to discuss our key success factors. These factors will guide our project. In order to accomplish the project, these factors will need to be considered. We need to gain stakeholder approval and feedback, and this will be the key. If we are not on the same page, our project will not be successful. In the planning, the framing and focus will be on the errors that the old instructions have caused, and will focus on the new process to alleviate our errors. Planning for any project can determine if you will be successful or not. Timing. knowing when is the best time to execute this project while placing low impact on the department's other objectives. We'll be utilizing ACE, analyzing, composing, evaluating, and that has been a key factor in gathering data for planning this project. The project was analyzed to first see if it would be possible. Next, the proposal was composed, and we are evaluating all content to see that we need to capture that in order to succeed. In bringing consistency to the process, we will achieve other objectives, such as less frustration within our department and within other departments that receive our documentation. We will be able to achieve our primary objective to simplify the process by cutting down on the number of steps within it and only keeping content that adds value to our process. Next, we will be discussing the analysis of alternatives. We could revise our process instead of rewriting, but we have tried that before with limited success. We want to ensure this becomes a static process until we want to revise it again, not because we have to revise it. We also could have another department offer advice on our process, but who better than the people that actually do the work would know what needs to be removed and what needs to remain within the process. We also could continue with our current process and hope that some of the errors that occur due to our learning curve improve with more training and understanding, but that is not the only problem within the process. That is why we will be embarking upon a complete revision this time to ensure that all problem areas are addressed. Our next topic of discussion will be our strategic option. We will be gaining stakeholder approval. We will carefully plan the revision and dedicate 2 employees for 2 days to execute this revision. We will cut down the steps within the process, and we will plan to implement the new process within a 1-week time frame. Here's where we'll also utilize the ACE method in the revision of the process. Our next discussion will be about the benefits and risks of our strategic option. Our benefits will be, it will be less frustration for the stakeholders that do perform the work. We will have improved time and cost savings considerably. Our employee morale will definitely go up due to less frustration and less time taken in order to accomplish this process. Our errors will be reduced and our department will regain its credibility. There will be no impact to any other department within the company for the revision of this process. The only risk, which will be minimal, would be that the new process would not be well received. We hope that you will be able to see all the benefits today and that our process will be well received and we'll be able to proceed with that. Our next discussion, we will be talking about our final recommendation and our call to action. The action items are gaining approval, very important. We will compare between the old and new instructions. We will revise all steps of changes with all stakeholders and gain everyone's buy-in. We will show measurable costs and time savings and obtain final approval and feedback from our supervisor prior to implementing this revision. We will consider the project to be successful if all of the stated criteria are met with acceptance. In the words of a very wise man, when presenting a proposal, be sincere, be brief, be seated. A quote from Franklin Delano Roosevelt. This concludes our presentation today, and thank you very much for your time. I will now open up the forum for your questions, any that you may have, and again, thank you.